we are losing a lot of wild places in the world, and what we're providing is a wild place for people to come out.
Protecting this land, not just here but everywhere around the world, is important.
Illinois' prairies are an important and fragile ecosystem that is rapidly disappearing due to development and human intervention. These vast grasslands once covered over 60% of the state, providing a home for a diverse array of plants and animals. They also serve as a vital source of clean air and water, as well as natural filter for pollutants. In addition, Illinois' prairies are a source of cultural and historical significance, as they were once inhabited by Native American tribes and played a key role in the state's early development.
Wanting to create a spot where the world is welcome, it's monumental, it's brave, and to watch people realize, almost look like they accidentally found something they didn't even know that they were looking for.
It is crucial that we take action to preserve and restore these precious grasslands for future generations. The Illinois prairies are a unique and important part of our state's natural environment. These vast rolling grasslands were formed over the course of thousands of years through a complex interplay of natural forces. One of the key factors in the development of the prairies was the changing climate of the region. As the climate shifted from moist and forested to drier and more open, trees and other woody plants were gradually replaced by grasses and other vegetation that was better adapted to the new environment. Native plants and animal species also played a crucial role in shaping the prairies. For example, bison and prairie chickens, both key members of the prairie ecosystem, grazed on the grasses and other vegetation, helping to maintain the open, grassy landscape. In turn, the prairies provided a rich and diverse habitat for these and other species, supporting a wide range of plants and animal life. Over time, the combination of climate change and the action of native species created the vast, rolling prairies that are a defining feature of the Illinois landscape. These prairies are an important part of the state's natural heritage and are now protected and preserved in a number of states and federal parklands and conservation areas. As settlers moved into the Illinois region around 1820, they quickly discovered prairies as a very suitable base biome for building settlements. Prairie groves especially provided building materials and shelter. These settlements were first built in the southern portion of the state and moved north as needed when more settlements arose. Settlers quickly found the soil composition of these prairies very suitable for farming, and subsequently started farming nearby prairies. As agricultural needs grew, and farming shifted to a more industrial, large-scale model, more of the prairies were converted for agricultural use. By 1900, most of the prairies were gone, and by 1978, there were less than 2,300 acres of quality prairies left in the whole state. Restoring Illinois' prairies has numerous benefits for both the environment and human communities. These grasslands provide important habitats for a wide range of plants and animals, many of which are threatened or endangered. In addition, prairies help to combat climate change by storing carbon in their soil and reducing the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. They also play a key role in maintaining air and water quality, as the roots of prairie plants help to filter pollutants and prevent erosion. Furthermore, restoring prairies can create jobs and support local economies through the development of ecotourism and other conservation-related industries. Overall, the restoration of Illinois' prairies is a crucial step in protecting and preserving these unique and vulnerable ecosystems.
People need nature, and we can live in harmony with it.
The first step in restoring our once thriving prairies is to develop conservation prairies out of our degraded grasslands. A conservation prairie is a formerly degraded grassland that has been replanted with a mixture of seeds to create artificial prairie conditions for native prairie organisms. These conservation prairies provide displaced wildlife with a sufficient ecosystem to live and find sustenance. They also act as a recreational hotspot for light recreational activities like hiking, photography, and hunting. The goal in creating these prairies is to have a place for prairie wildlife to increase in size and abundance, which aids in the restoration of former prairies. Those native prairie species can quickly be re-inhabited in restored prairies once restoration is complete. This ensures a smooth transition which guarantees balance in an ecosystem. That balance is important to establish as unbalance results in environmental decay. Establishing these conservation prairies is economical and not too cumbersome. The first step is vegetation removal, in which all undesired plants and weed species are removed from the land. This is in an effort to avoid foreign vegetation from outcompeting native prairie species. Next, a seedbed is prepared. A seedbed is a prepared area of soil upon which seeds are planted. Preparation of fresh, nutrient-rich seedbeds will aid in germination and yield of plants in the conservation prairie. From there, appropriate seed mixtures must be selected and planted. The conservation prairie is now established, and all that's left to do is maintain. Weed population maintenance and other maintenance will be necessary for the first few years after planting. Long-term maintenance is necessary but not difficult nor expensive.
Most of the ecological communities are fire dependent, so you need to be putting in controlled burns to bring back that element of fire.
The next step in prairie restoration is finding the locations of lost prairies. Only former prairie land can be restored to prairie land because prairies are complex ecosystems that require specific conditions to thrive. Prairie plants and animals have evolved over thousands of years to adapt to soil, climate, and other conditions of the Midwest, and cannot simply be transplanted to any location. In addition, prairies require a specific mix of plant species in order to support a healthy and diverse ecosystem. Non-native plants and invasive species can quickly take over and disrupt the delicate balance of prairie ecosystem, making it difficult or impossible for native species to survive. Therefore, in order to restore a prairie, it is necessary to identify and prepare a site that was previously a prairie, and then carefully select and plant a mix of native species that will be able to establish and thrive in that specific location. After finding that land, the process of prairie restoration is ready to begin. The process of restoring a prairie involves several steps to ensure the successful establishment and growth of this unique and vulnerable ecosystem. First, a suitable site must be identified and prepared for prairie restoration. This may involve removing non-native plants and invasive species, and preparing the soil for the planting of native prairie seeds. Next, a mix of native prairie seeds is carefully selected, taking into account the specific conditions of the site such as soil type, climate, and elevation. The seeds are then planted either by hand or using specialized equipment and watered and nurtured to ensure their success. This may involve controlling weed and pests, providing additional water and nutrients, and conducting regular surveys to track the progress of the prairie and the species it supports. Over time, the prairies will mature and become a self-sustaining ecosystem, providing habitats for a wide range of plants and animals, and serving as an important source of clean air and water. Restoring a prairie is a challenging but rewarding process that helps to protect and preserve these unique and vulnerable ecosystems. Maintaining a prairie involves a number of steps to ensure the health and longevity of this unique and vulnerable ecosystem. First, it is important to monitor the prairie regularly, using surveys and other methods to track the health and diversity of the plants and animal communities it supports. This information can be used to identify any potential problems or challenges, such as the invasion of non-native plants or the decline of a particular species. In addition, it is important to protect the prairie from threats such as development and pollution. This may involve working with local government and community groups to establish conservation easements or other protective measures. Overall, maintaining a prairie requires careful planning, monitoring, and management to ensure its long-term health and viability. By taking these steps, we can preserve and protect these unique and vulnerable ecosystems for future generations.
So I think we're showing that if you restore the habitat, the animals will come and their numbers will increase and the rare things will become more stable.